Hi, I'm Robert Osborne. Tonight we're honoring actor Don Ameche, best known to many people today for a pair of movies he made late in his career, the comedy Trading Places with Eddie Murphy and Dan Aykroyd, and the sci-fi film Cocoon, which earned Ameche an Academy Award as the Best Supporting Actor of 1985. Well, decades earlier, Don Ameche was particularly famous for playing another role, the inventor of the telephone, Alexander Graham Bell. He played that part in a biopic back in 1939 that I'm happy to say we're going to show right now for the first time on TCM. The film's official title is The Story of Alexander Graham Bell. It was made by 20th Century Fox at a time when movie biopics about the people who helped usher in the modern era were all the rage. 3 years earlier, Paul Muni had great success with The Story of Louis Pasteur over at Warner Brothers. And soon after, MGM entered the mix with a pair of films about Thomas Edison, one about Edison's younger life with Mickey Rooney, the other about Edison the Man with Spencer Tracy, and on it went. Well, this film about Alexander Graham Bell received the seal of approval from Bell's granddaughter, who was very protective of the family legacy and unique history. For instance, much of the story in this movie has to do with Alexander Graham Bell being in love with a deaf girl, played in the movie by Loretta Young. And that was a true aspect of Bell's life, also a motivating factor in why he was determined to develop a technique for helping teach her to speak, which in turn inspired him to develop the telephone in the 1870s. And besides Don Ameche, our film also stars Henry Fonda. This is the same year that Fonda starred in his own movie biopic, Young Mr. Lincoln. And for the record, take a good look at the three actresses who play Loretta Young's sisters in the film. They are all Loretta Young's real-life sisters, Polly Ann Young, Georgiana Young, and Sally Blaine. So here also with Charles Coburn, Spring Byington, and Gene Lockhart from 1939, The Story of Alexander Graham Bell. This film became the center of a rather nasty fight between 20th Century Fox Studios and the New York Times. In 1939, one of the Times' leading critics was a man named Frank Nugent, who is known for two things: having a very biting style when critiquing films and not liking the work of Fox's #1 star, Tyrone Power. In Nugent's review of this film, he basically wrote that not having Tyrone Power in it made it one of the best films Fox had ever presented. Well, Fox studio boss Darryl Zanuck wasn't at all happy about that barb. He felt it was so out of left field, so inappropriate, he refused to advertise future Fox films in the New York Times, which cost the paper nearly $50,000 while that feud was going on. Standoff eventually ended in a way that didn't let either man claim victory. Zanuck gave Nugent a job in his writing department, paying him to critique Fox scripts before they were filmed.